Thanks for joining us. The Museum of the National Center of Afro-American Artists is welcoming a new leader. The center has been preserving, presenting, and celebrating Black and African arts and culture in Boston since its creation in the late 1960s. Akiba Abaka will take over as interim executive director, succeeding founding director, curator, visual arts champion, I could go on, center leader Barry Gaither. We have both of them in studio with us today. Thank you so much for both of you for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure.
Yes, this is a big deal. I mean, this is a turning point, Barry. We got to start with you. You've been at the helm of this center for decades, this institution. What made you decide that now is the time to kind of step back, pass the torch?
Well, let me put a footnote first.
Okay.
Because the founding of the National Center of Afro-American Artists was the work of Dr. Elmer Lewis. And I came to Boston in the fall of 1969 and was so struck by her vision and sense of purpose with having founded the National Center in 1968 that I joined my ship to hers. I was initially introduced with responsibility for the museum.
Right.
So I certainly bear full responsibility for its 52 or so years. For the National Center at large, which also includes teaching divisions, we were historically associated with the Elmer Lewis School of Fine Arts and Performing Arts. We are the producers of Black Nativity. So it's only since 2004, after Ms. Lewis's passing, that all of that became my portfolio. Nevertheless, I identify fully with the majesty of her vision for the arts, for education, for performing and visuals. And it's been an honor, a singular honor, for me to work in that framework. And that framework has allowed ambitions to stretch beyond the originals. You know, we were formatted in the 1960s. We're now in a new millennium.
That's right.
So we're making a tomorrow that honors the foundation of yesterday, but that also expands it and changes it. And all of that made great sense for why Akiba should join us.
Perfect segue here, because you're passing the torch to this great institution. So we got to ask you, Akiba, what made you want to step into this role and take this on?
When I think of the National Center of Afro-American Artists, three words come to mind: gift, stewardship, and legacy. The National Center of Afro-American Artists is a gift to our community in Roxbury, to our city of Boston, to our region of New England, and to the world. What we hold in our collection, in our performing arts history, we were at the forefront. The National Center was pioneering. You think about the Elmer Lewis Playhouse in the Park, which was one of the first times that public performance art was made free and accessible. And so I think that our founders, Dr. Lewis, Mr. Gaither, Vernon Blackman, John Andrew Ross, they gave a gift to this town. My experience as an arts administrator and a leader in the arts allows me to see the opportunity to steward this gift, to stabilize the organization, to build this organization, and to grow so that we can pass it on to the next generation, henceforth the legacy. And so that is my calling here.
You mentioned your background, right, in arts and all of that. Talk about how your background plays a role in bringing this into the future.
Well, I started my career at the Strand Theater while I was in high school, a rotational internship that I did all throughout high school. And what was instilled in me in the 90s at the Strand was that the arts is a utility of life that should always be in service of community. And so as I developed my skills as a maker and as an administrator, there were opportunities to to be independently well served. However, what was instilled in me at the Strand and later on at the Huntington working for August Wilson was that we had a responsibility to serve our community and to make arts equitable and accessible for all. And so that is the alignment, that is the pull here. And it's in line with the founding of this organization. And so that's my interest here.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go back to you, Barry, because, man, you're dedicated your life's work to this. You have so much significance when it comes to the center. For you, as you're passing the torch on here, what has something that you're most proud of from what you've created?
Well, I'm very proud that we have been able to sustain a creative tradition and provide a platform for others to participate and enlarge from decades ago to the present, and that we've been able in that process to make ourselves and our community larger. Miss Lewis was fond of saying the arts are the guts of the people, which means that they're at the core of things, at the place where the digestion happens and where the fuel to change gets made. So we're happy to have been at that kind of central place in the life of the community. Another thing was important to Miss Lewis was the idea of articulation. She saw that part of what should be the mission of the National Center was that it should enunciate who we are as contributors in the world to culture, arts, and education, and that we should be doing that not just for the world, but for our neighborhood and community, that we should be linking across the whole spectrum of who we are, that every youngster should feel fortified by knowing that we exist, and we should feel privileged to support that child in developing the confidence and ultimately the authority to become who they should be in the world. The ultimate mission of an entity like the National Center of Afro-American Artists is to help us as a people realize who we are and who we can become, and to express that on the global stage.
That's beautifully said.
Yes.
I got to bring you back in here, Akiba, because will you keep, I think a lot of folks are wondering this, some of the most beloved traditions, right? We're talking about the Black Nativity here. Folks want to know, especially that. What should we expect to see from you taking on this?
Well, we're in year 55 of Black Nativity, and this year, Black Nativity is a spectacular event. It's Langston Hughes's pageant play about the nativity taken from the urban African-American experience. This year, you will see more community engagement. Actually, on Sunday, October 5th, we kick off our promotions of Black Nativity with our community sing. Black Nativity Community Sing. Come on out and sing along with us at the Elliott Church. We will also be doing community public dialogues, talking more about the work of Langston Hughes and his purpose, what was behind his work as a playwright working on Broadway and working in community, and why the nativity and how does that fit into his larger canon of plays and poetry.
Perfect. Well, Akiba Abaka and Barry Gaither, we want to wish you the best in both of your next chapters. Very exciting to see. We thank you so much for being with us to talk about this very important institution in our area. So
thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.